I want all of you to imagine that you live in a world full of computers so small that they can fit into the palm of your hand. Now, imagine that these computers are able to be used for a whole range of functions, from communication to entertainment. Not only can each of these be used to perform different tasks, but people can carry 2 or even 3 of these various devices. This situation is most relatable with our use of smartphones and tablet computers today. I frequently see people strolling down the street or sitting at a desk where they have their laptop, tablet, and phone. In today's world, 80% of people between the ages of 18 and 34 are using smartphones, and that is without considering the vast teenage population which utilizes these tools as well. Every year, this number goes up, and the new, smaller, and thinner phone comes out with a bigger screen. Not only is technology constantly getting smaller, but also cheaper. If you've kept track, the price you pay for an average computer nowadays is about that of roughly 10 years ago. However, when comparing the features and capabilities, the average computer of today would have cost thousands and likely been impossible to get as a mere consumer 10 years ago. With cheaper and better technology comes greater access to those without money from work or the government. More accessibility means a larger network of us is able to pitch in our ideas and contribute to a greater level of development. Call it a large brainstorming session via the internet. Information for a cheap and useful product will expand the database on it in regards to alternative use, related products, and coding blobs. The time it would take to do anything with this item would be reduced drastically and open up new possibilities for all of our non-computer engineers and programmers in this room to share new viewpoints and provide more opportunities themselves, breaking down the boundary that seals off all of us from furthering and creating a unified effort to change the future. This can be found even in today's world and is growing rapidly. Technology is constantly improving step by step, with increasing movement by all of us. The average person and our own little experiments. In any field imaginable, there are plenty of opportunities for growth and personal involvement, but modern technologies are the largest and cover the most area. Now, some of you may be thinking, where are these opportunities, or how can I find them? The answer is everywhere. With internet from your phone or other computer, plus some old electronics, or one of the many free software programs such as provided by Oracle on their website, you can teach yourself anything from electrochemistry to computer programming, and build almost any device that you can find a picture of. Everything you need can cost little to nothing, as I was able to recycle broken parts from around my house. This shoebox is my little portable storage for all of my pieces which I use for my projects. All free and no added expense. Next time you are going to throw out an old piece of electronics, keep it. If you are trying to learn about electronics, the best way is to take a hands-on approach and take it apart. Learning for yourself. You can even ask for specific help online. This virtual resource we call the internet holds the knowledge and expertise of millions. One of the most important parts of this modern development is taking advantage of what we are given. But do we really? This isn't easy and sure, no. Part of this is due to the expense in both time and money. That is, in addition to many of us not knowing how we can be involved. So much of today's world is expensive and surrounded by a capitalist mindset that focuses on an individual's benefit rather than a whole society's. On the whole, this is changing, and it is changing at an astonishing pace. So much is available for free on the internet, where once a physical interaction was required. Colleges are offering free courses in a large array of subjects, and even top schools such as MIT and Yale are offering their prestigious knowledge. With this in mind, why are people not throwing themselves at these great opportunities that are so accessible, easy, and legitimate? Well, with so much offered by the internet and our everyday devices, most are overwhelmed or choose to opt for the simpler pleasures such as Facebook and contacting friends, or to a simple research assignment. This is in part due to the extra effort that would be required to go about inefficiently hunting for bogus excerpts of information that eventually lead to disinterest. This isn't your fault because there's such a massive knowledge accessible, but we don't know how to find it. It is my goal to speed up this process, spreading the word and raising awareness of these opportunities. Most importantly, how can you be a part of this and influence the world on your own? Getting started is easy. You just have to know where to look. A simple search in Google for DIY easy electronics builds can produce great results, such as makeprojects.com. Beyond this, any of you could even become an expert in your chosen area. We all have access to most of the same resources, and these are becoming even easier to get hold of. We each have our own journey that will take us further on this path. For me, this journey started at the age of 9. My grandparents had gifted me with an electronics kit. I loved my Lego sets, and this was a new step for me. I built small solar-powered devices, controlled motors, and most importantly, I set myself on the course for my future. How? I made technology fun. I learned from a toy and built my own. This is vital to becoming absorbed. Just find what you love, work at it, and add in and incorporate what you want to learn in this area and make it a part of you. Last year, I took this a step further in working with my fellow classmates in our newly made robotics club. Here we have us building and making final modifications at the competition. This was a great experience for me, and I learned a lot. This club was special to me because I learned that this is something that I love to do, something I could also use later in life. I learned programming and how to work with my hands and with the engineering aspect of the piece. All valuable life skills that are in high demand in the technology-rich society of today. Over this last summer, I took all of this to the next step and set to work building my own model, a model for teaching others what I had learned and giving them the immersed experience that I enjoyed so much. I wanted to share my knowledge. I built a year-long course on robotics and programming for my school. The goals of this course were not only to foster interest in the growing important areas, but also to provide valuable experience that could be taken to college in an area where no such experience was currently available. My guide structure has been a 4,000-word, 9-page course layout and syllabus. This contained everything I needed to run the course, including lesson plans, resources, semester focus, topics, and grading criterion. My project was approved, though I had to have meetings on my own time and to not be able to have a devoted class period. To combat this, I spent my next few weeks preparing a website to hold all of the course information and facilitate the learning of Quarter 1's lessons. Our course is now about a third of the way in, and we have a considerable amount done. Everyone who is participating has the basic understanding of programming that was aimed for in Quarter 1, and they are starting to use this with our semester-long robotics unit. We have had only one large formal meeting, in addition to small and brief groupings, yet we are further on our way this year than last year's robotics effort by 2 months. We are already building test models for our robots' individual functions and have our strategy laid out. I see a prototype in the not-too-distant future. Here's 2 pictures of most of our group gathered together to take apart last year's robot and begin planning the next. Though this is rewarding in its creation, the activity of working together on this will help to allow everyone to express their ideas and become more vocal. This, in turn, will support the building of leadership skills and will lead to a stronger and more confident person on the whole. We constantly stress the importance of asking questions, as it guarantees a stronger base of understanding, instead of the destructive embarrassment that is commonly found when someone doesn't understand something, but doesn't want to appear incompetent. By reshaping and aiding the growth of good traits, useful skills, I hope that this course will not only yield a good experience, but also build good students. What sort of things might students who complete this course be able to do? Well, having already gone through the processes and basing the course off of my own experience, I would like to share a project that I am currently developing. All of you have heard or thought on the idea of humans and machines combined in some sort of cyborg form. Today we have prosthetics for walking, circulating blood, breathing, and various other purposes. I set out on my journey to make my own similar device to aid through connection to a small and wearable computer. My journey all began with this wonderful new device. This is a Raspberry Pi, and it is a standalone desktop computer with no need for anything but the basics to be plugged in it, such as power and a screen, just like your computer at home. How does this relate to building a wearable computer? The Raspberry Pi is made by a non-profit organization and was originally meant for teaching children programming. The light, small, about the size of a credit card, and cheap computer costs only what it costs to make it. Millions have grasped at this opportunity for easy and cheap ways to better their lives and the lives of others, through putting the Raspberry Pi into other devices and even making it into its own device altogether. Because this computer is so inexpensive and it packs a powerful punch, it makes it the perfect option for the core computer of my device. I could go and purchase or build my own specialized computer that would probably be less bulky and have more things that I need, but that would defeat one of my goals: to guide others to build this device on their own. If I used expensive or hard to obtain materials, this would not be possible. After attaining a simple battery pack for the power and loading a memory card that supplies the operating system, all that would be in the way would be the display. This problem has been the bulk of my research, and after changing my choice, I found another clearly better option: a micro display. Now, this technology is just that, a really small display. It squeezes high resolution onto displays of only 1 centimeter across. It then reflects the image towards the eye and magnifies it to show the display. Here's an example of Google's Project Glass. There are 2 main reasons I'm not going to use this for the device, and one is that it relies too heavily upon internet as opposed to being a standalone computer. 2, probably most importantly, is the price, which is supposed to start at over $1,000. I'm not the first to have a similar idea, and this is an example of a more rugged setup. You can see on the right the opaque microdisplay blocking his outside vision and the zip-tied keyboard. This next one was made to be cleaner and follows the way I'm planning to build my device. In order to build a display, you need to harvest the microdisplay from a set of video glasses. These can be found at prices near $200 to $300, but searching on discount stores or other used product areas, you can find them for under $100 or even under $50. Here's an example of a microdisplay. To make the display for this computer, you would just take this out, hook up all the wires to the computer of choice, like the Raspberry Pi, and set it up on a device of your choosing. Simple as that. Once you've completed connecting and testing, you have a wonderful new toy that can be used to ease life when it comes to daily tasks. Sadly, I still require a few more parts in order to complete my device, and I'm working hard to make this a reality, knowing that it can help better the lives of many and help others to build the database needed. All of these things can be accessed by you, done by you, and influenced by your participation. You saw how easy simple Google search can send you in the direction towards what you want. You know that because of endless options and opportunities, that it is important to act and make use of what you've been given. Some of you may go on to build a computer for your car and give it extra features such as Bluetooth, for example. Another of you may choose to get and work with a robotics kit, which could lead you to focusing in mechanical or robotic engineering. We are all vital to the success of our global community, and we must work together to aid in the betterment of others and making a lasting effect on our society. We are all empowered, and even more so than in the past. We have grown, but we need to grow together. A simple search, a simple life, and you can make a simple change that will make all the difference. Thank you very much.